There are things nobody ever told you about life. Not because they were trying to hide them from you, but because most people don't understand them themselves. So they pass through life repeating the same patterns, making the same mistakes, chasing the same illusions, without ever stopping long enough to question them. And somehow, today, this video found you. Not by accident, but because something inside you is ready to hear truths that are uncomfortable but freeing, simple but life-changing. So take a breath, slow down for a moment, and listen carefully, because these aren't just ideas. These are the things that quietly shape your entire life. Truth 10. Time isn't waiting for you. Time is strange. It never speaks to you, it never warns you, it never tells you when you're wasting it. It just moves silently. And no matter how much you try to ignore it, it keeps going. Here's the truth most people avoid. You're living like you have two lives, one to waste and one to fix everything later. You tell yourself, I'll start next week. I'll focus when things calm down. I'll figure it out later. But later is one of the most dangerous words in your life, because later feels safe. It feels like you still have control, like time is sitting somewhere waiting patiently for you. But it isn't. Think about this. When you were younger, 1 year felt like forever. Now, an entire year disappears before you even realize it started. Weeks blur together, months slip past unnoticed, and suddenly you're asking yourself, where did all that time go? The truth is, time didn't speed up. You stopped noticing it. Routine replaced awareness. Distraction replaced intention. And life became something you react to instead of something you consciously live. Picture your life like a loop. Wake up, check your phone, do what you have to do, scroll, repeat. Again and again and again. Not a story, just repetition. And here's the part that hurts the most. Every time you delay something important, life charges interest. Delay your health, your body slowly pays the price. Delay your goals, your confidence starts to fade. Delay your growth, your future becomes smaller. Time is not neutral, it compounds, either for you or against you. But here's what most people don't realize. You don't need to fix your entire life today. You just need one honest moment. One moment where you stop running on autopilot and say, enough. I'm not wasting another year like this. Even 5 minutes of real, focused action is more powerful than years of overthinking, because action breaks the loop. So right now, pause and ask yourself one question. What is one thing, just one, that your future self is begging you to start today? Not 10 things, not a big plan, just one. That answer that came to your mind, that's where your life begins to change. Truth 9. Nobody is thinking about you as much as you think they are. This truth feels uncomfortable at first, but once you understand it, it becomes one of the most freeing realizations of your life. People are not thinking about you as much as you think they are. There's no invisible audience watching your every move. No group of people analyzing everything you say. No constant judgment happening behind your back, because everyone else is too busy thinking about themselves, their problems, their fears, their insecurities, their own lives. Imagine this for a second. Every person walking around you has a thought bubble above their head, and inside that bubble, there's only one question. What do people think about me? That's it. That's what everyone is focused on, which means no one has the time or energy to constantly focus on you. But your mind creates a different story. It tells you they'll judge you, they'll notice, they'll remember that mistake forever. But think about it honestly. How long do you remember other people's embarrassing moments? A few seconds? Maybe a day? Then you forget because your attention goes back to your own life. And the same thing happens with everyone else. The embarrassment you fear, it's temporary. But the things you avoid because of that fear, those create permanent regret. Think about everything you've held back. Starting something, speaking your mind, being yourself, taking a risk. Now ask yourself, who exactly were you afraid of? Can you name them? Most people can't, because it was never about real people. It was imagined judgment. And the moment you realize that, something shifts. You stop performing. You stop shrinking. You stop waiting for approval. And you start living. So here's something to sit with. If nobody in the world was watching you tomorrow, what would you do differently starting tomorrow? That answer is the real version of you. Truth 8. Fear hurts more in your mind than in reality. Fear is not logical. It's creative, extremely creative. It takes a simple situation and turns it into a full disaster scenario. Before you even act, your brain starts producing images. You fail. People judge you. Everything goes wrong. You regret it all. And somehow, it feels real. But here's the truth. Most of the pain you feel from fear never actually happens. It exists only in your mind. Your brain is trying to protect you, but instead of helping, it exaggerates. It creates stories that feel urgent and dangerous, even when they're not. Think about your past. Every time you were afraid to do something and then you finally did it, what was your reaction? Most of the time, it was, that wasn't as bad as I thought. Exactly. Fear made it seem bigger than it actually was. Because fear doesn't show you reality, it shows you the worst possible version of it. And here's the part most people don't realize. You've survived every real challenge in your life, but your mind, it has made you experience thousands of fake ones. Endless what-if scenarios that never even happened. So next time fear shows up, pause. Don't react immediately. Just observe it and ask yourself, is this real danger or just imagined discomfort? Because most of the time, it's just a story. And the moment you stop believing every story your mind tells you, your world expands. Truth 7. Small steps beat big plans. Most people are not stuck because they lack ability. They're stuck because they're waiting. Waiting to feel ready. Waiting for motivation. Waiting for the perfect moment. But the perfect moment doesn't exist. And the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to start. Big plans feel powerful. They feel productive. They make you feel like you're moving forward. But in reality, they often keep you stuck because they're too big, too overwhelming, too far from where you are right now. So instead of starting, you delay. And delay turns into inaction. Here's the truth. Small steps create momentum. Big plans create pressure. And momentum always wins. You don't need to change your life in one day. You need to prove to yourself that you can move, even a little. Because once you start moving, your brain shifts. You stop thinking so much and start doing. And doing builds confidence. Not thinking, not planning, not waiting. Doing. So instead of asking, what's the best plan? Ask, what's the smallest step I can take right now? Because that small step is how everything begins. Truth 6. Pain is a teacher, not an enemy. Pain is misunderstood. Most people see it as something negative, something to avoid, something that means something is wrong. But pain is not your enemy. It's feedback. It's information. It's life showing you where something needs attention. Think about your hardest moments, the ones that changed you. They didn't come from comfort. They came from discomfort. Because pain forces awareness, it forces growth, it forces change. Without it, most people would never evolve. Physical pain shows your limits. Emotional pain shows your boundaries. Mental pain shows your patterns. Pain is not random. It's specific. And if you ignore it, it repeats over and over again until you finally listen. So instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Try asking, what is this trying to teach me? Because the moment you see pain as a lesson, not a punishment, you stop running from it and you start growing through it. Truth 1. Your life changes the moment you decide. People think change is complicated. They think it requires perfect timing, perfect conditions, perfect motivation. But it doesn't. Change starts with one thing, a decision, a quiet, simple decision. Not loud, not dramatic, not cinematic. Just a moment where you say, I'm done living like this. That's it. That's where everything shifts. Not when you feel ready, not when it's easy, but when you decide. Because once you decide, your actions begin to follow. Slowly, imperfectly, but consistently. And those small actions create a new direction. And that new direction creates a new life. So here's the final question. If your life continues exactly the way it is right now, are you okay with where it leads? If the answer is no, then you already know what to do. Start small. Start now. And don't wait for permission. Because the moment you decide, everything begins to change.